The NFL Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is presented by WynnBET. WynnBET is now live in Arizona, Colorado, Indiana, Louisiana, Michigan, New Jersey, New York, Tennessee, and Virginia. From boosted same-game parlays to live in-game odds, WynnBET has what you need to win today. Sign up today, bet 100, and get $100 free bet at the sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WynnBET. That's the sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WYNNBET to claim your free bet today. We're also brought to you by the SGPN Bowl Challenge. $250 cash and a $250 gift card is up for grabs exclusively on the SGPN app. And welcome everybody back to the NFL Gambling Podcast, part of the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. It is a doubleheader for J. Mark and I. We are back talking NFL futures, updated market, headed into the last portion of the season, last quarter of the season. I'm Moneyline Mac. He's J. Mark Football. J. Mark, obviously we just got done with the Week 15 preview, so diving into a little futures now. Anything that stands out before we dive into this?
Well, it's getting serious when we're running two-a-days. That's when we're really amping up, right? One of the things that we talked a little bit about, and we're not going to put the place on blast because I think a lot of experts did this, but one of the number one NFC consensus playoff projections was Packers, Bucks, Rams. All three of them were in the top seven expected to make the playoffs, and good chance all three miss. So the Rams for sure. And then the Bucks and Packers are they're hanging on by a thread. I mean, they have a small chance, but you love to see it though. I like seeing different teams get in. I think that makes it more exciting. Now, if your team's the one getting booted out, that's obviously never fun, but it's nice to see some new blood in there.
Yeah. And, you were on the Packers to not win the division, and I know you take great pleasure in saying that they are one of the three biggest disappointments in the NFC. I think everywhere. I mean, you throw the Niners in there with those other three teams. That was a consensus top four teams. I mean, That was the four teams that played in the divisional round last year in the NFC, with Green Bay falling to San Francisco, and then the Bucks falling to the Rams, who eventually won the Super Bowl. So, yeah, it has not been a chalky year. That's for damn sure in the NFL.
No, not at all.
I know a little bit on the AFC side. It has been with Buffalo and Kansas City, but I mean, you also look at everybody hyped up Denver going into the year. There was a lot of expectations in Vegas and LA as well. I remember the days of August where everybody's like, is this the year somebody gets everybody in the playoffs in the AFC West or the NFC West? And instead, it's the NFC East and the AFC East that have all winning records. So NFL's been crazy this year.
Absolutely. Yeah, I personally didn't understand the hype behind Denver. I was not high on Russell Wilson going there and him being kind of the answer to turn that around, but certainly were a lot of people that were. And I think that I've said it multiple times, but I think that's going to go down as one of the worst trades in the history of sports, really. I mean, not just the NFL, but sports. It was just a terrible trade.
Yeah, no doubt. It really was. I mean, what they gave up, and now potentially the Seattle Seahawks might have a top 3 pick, depending what the Broncos do down the stretch. And what we'll do with some of these divisions, some of them are almost wrapped up, basically, and we'll touch on those as well and where they go going forward in the NFC or AFC playoffs. But yeah, we'll touch on remaining schedules because, like we said, we are in the last quarter of the season. There's only been 3 teams that have been eliminated from playoff contention officially so far. In the AFC, you do have those Denver Broncos and Houston Texans. And then, unfortunately, in the NFC, there's only one. J. Mark, I'll let you take it away who the only team in the NFC is.
It's my Bears. It's the Bears.
It is, but, the future's bright, I think, there.
Yeah. No, I agree. I've never been more hyped, I guess, for the Bears probably in my life, because we finally have a quarterback that looks like he is bringing the right culture and he's going to get it done. So very excited to see what the future holds for us, especially with we're going to have the highest draft capital or salary cap. I mean, we got good drafts. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, your future's brighter than the Green Bay Packers right now. I mean, the Packers don't know if this is it for Aaron Rodgers or um one sharp shark is back to troll you, J Mark. Bears are not
Yep.
going to make the playoffs. What a surprise. So yeah, no you know what? I'll look at the Bears price next year as a potential team that could sneak up in the playoffs, I think.
I told Kramer. So the rumors are that Saquon Barkley wants to go to Chicago. He wants to play with Fields. And I was talking to Kramer about that, and I said Bears are winning that division next year. So we'll
I
see.
love it.
But
I
that's my
love it.
prediction.
It's going to come down to you and the Lions. The Vikings, time for the Vikings and Packers to go to the basement, I think.
Yep. There you go.
So, yeah, but if you are looking to bet some futures headed into this last quarter of the NFL season, I get the perfect place for you, and that is WinBet. Ready to win money and boost your odds? WinBet is now live, like I said, in Arizona, Colorado, Indiana, Louisiana, Michigan, New Jersey, New York, Tennessee, and Virginia. We're bringing the excitement of Win Las Vegas to online sports betting and casino play. Exclusive rewards right at your fingertips with Win Rewards on WinBet. Looking to get involved in same game parlay? WinBet is now your home with their WinBet. Build your own bet, letting you customize the bet you want to make today. There's great promos, odds, payouts that are happening right now at WinBet. WinBet has what you need to win, ready to play. Sign up today to receive a special offer. Bet 100 to win 100. There's so much to choose from. All you have to do is head over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/winbet so that they know that we sent you. That's the sportsgamblingpodcast.com/winbet to claim your free bet today. Offer subject to change. Terms and conditions at winbet.com. Must be 21 or older. Presented in the same state where you play through WinBet is available. If you or someone has a gambling problem, please call 1-800-522-4700. We are also brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. We're in the fantasy playoffs time of year, week 15, coming down the wire. Old-fashioned football, go check out that. But also check out Underdog Fantasy. We're back with Underdog Fantasy. And if you haven't signed up already, you can still get a 100% deposit match up to $100 when you use the promo code SGPN. Just go to underdogfantasy.com, promo code SGPN for a 100% deposit match. Underdog is a great place for weekly battle, royal format, as well as getting an early start in their playoff best ball. Underdogfantasy.com, promo code SGPN. And last but not least, we are brought to you by us, the merch store, SGPN merch store. And the NFL Gambling Podcast reached first of many milestones, episode 100. And in honor of that 100th episode, we are giving away one lucky winner a $100 gift card to the merch store for the holiday season. All you have to do is leave a 5-star rating and a review on Apple Podcasts. Easy, 10 seconds out of your day. Deadline to submit is next Tuesday, December 20th. Winner will be announced next week, so make sure you have your notifications turned on and make sure you leave a review and a 5-star rating. It's not too much to ask. We're giving you daily content, over 100 episodes so far since August when we launched this NFL Gambling Podcast, and all you got to do is leave a rating and review. I don't think it's too much to ask.
Not at all, especially for $100.
Yeah, you can get a lot of things there,
Yeah,
including an old-fashioned football shirt.
absolutely. I need to work on getting all 7 of them. I need one for every day.
No doubt. No doubt. Let's dive into these futures markets real quick, Jay Mark. And we'll lead off in the best division in football. Let's go. NFC East. And quick update just on the standings. I'll read off the standings when we get to all these divisions. Currently, Philly has a 2-game lead. They're sitting at 12-1 up top. Dallas 10-3. And then you got Washington and New York both at 7-5-1 with the tie, and they both play this weekend in a crucial game for NFC playoff wildcard implications. Your initial thoughts on the NFC East?
Hey, can you remind me who that team that beat the Eagles was?
Oh yeah, none other than your true Washington Commandos. So we still are the only team to have give the Eagles a blemish on their perfect record so far. So shout out to Heineke and shout out to the defense.
Absolutely. This has been a surprise. We went from NFC least to NFC beast. This has been a good division all year. I was very high on the Eagles going into the season. I know you hated that, but I just thought they had all the pieces to have a good team. Now, I didn't expect them to be 12-1. But I did expect them to win this division. So I still think they're gonna run away with it. I don't think the Cowboys are gonna catch them. I'm really interested to see if all 4 teams end up making the playoffs because there's a route to where that could happen.
Yeah, no, there definitely is a route, and looking kind of at that, I mean, both teams, if the season ended right now, all 4 would get in, with the Giants and Washington both being at 7-5-1, Seattle and Detroit kind of on their heels in the wild card race. But I think the Eagles, pretty much like you said, have it wrapped up in the NFC East as long as they take care of business. For them, you can't drop a Chicago Bears game or a New Orleans Saints game, because if you do drop a game, then you do leave yourself vulnerable to the Cowboys catching you, because they don't have the tiebreaker over Dallas because of their loss to Washington.
Yeah, true.
So, and then just looking at the futures market for the NFC East, I just had it pulled up, and there's that consensus graphic that you were talking about. It's comical. The Eagles obviously are a heavy favorite in the NFC East, and they're currently sitting at where is it? minus 700. Dallas is only one on the radar because they're the only one that can catch him, plus 500. I think we both agree this is Eagles or nothing. I mean, if you think the Eagles are going to slip up, then I guess you could take a flyer on Dallas, but I don't see it happening.
Yeah, no, I agree. This is the Eagles division. They're going to run away with it. Yeah, and it'll be interesting. Do you think so? If the Giants don't make the playoffs, I'm going to go ahead and assume your Commanders are going to beat them and make the playoffs. Would you rather see Lions or Seahawks take that last spot?
Lions or Seahawks?
Just for storyline purposes, which team do you like better?
Me personally, the Seahawks, because of my Pete Carroll Coach of the Year ticket that I have, 80-1. So I kind of, if they do make the playoffs, I think he's a live dog in that race. But I mean, either way, it's a good story. Well, honestly, the winner that's going to be probably the Coach of the Year. If the Lions make it, they're going to give it to Dan Campbell, Mr. Bite Your Kneecaps. It's a narrative driven award, which is what we said in the preseason. So the narrative's there for Dan Campbell to get this award.
Yeah, for sure. I agree with you. I'd rather see the Seahawks because I hate the Lions as a Bears fan. But it will be interesting because those are 2 teams that we thought we were going to mail it in this year. You know,
no doubt.
The Seahawks after that trade for Russell Wilson, or to get rid of Russell Wilson, the Lions being the Lions, we kind of thought it would be a mail-in thing, and now both of them alive in the playoff hunt. It's crazy.
It is crazy. And speaking of the North, we'll transition right into that North. And I mean, we're touching on how the Lions have come alive, winners of 5 out of 6. But the story in the NFC North this year has been the Minnesota Vikings at 10-3, despite their negative point differential, which is crazy. Lions are in second, 6-7, and then Aaron Rodgers is at 5-8. And then obviously, unfortunately, the Chicago Bears are 3-10, but we won't touch on the Bears. Future's bright. Who do you like in this wild card race between a team that could come on between Green Bay and Detroit? Do you think Green Bay has any hope?
I don't. I think they're dead in the water. But even if they make the playoffs, I mean, what's been Green Bay's kind of storyline? They make the playoffs, they lose. That's kind of, especially in the NFC Championship game. So I don't think they have much hope in the playoffs, even if they make it. So, but yeah, I think the Lions keep the pressure on. I don't think the Packers catch them. So, which is nice. I'd rather see the Lions than the Packers, of course.
Yeah. And the thing that's crazy is that game, 5-6 weeks ago, when it was kind of it was supposed to be a get right spot for the Green Bay Packers, and they go to Detroit and lose 15-9. That game's pivotal looking back on it, because the Packers could be 6-7 and having a chance to get back in this thing. The Packers schedule is soft, I will say that. Coming off the bye, they got 3 out of 4 at home with the Rams, Vikings, and Lions, two divisional opponents, and then they got to go to Miami on Christmas Day.
Yeah. So I think the Vikings and Lions beat them. I think the Lions get it done again. I think the Vikings beat them, and then the Dolphins will most likely be playing for playoffs at that point too. So, I mean, there's a route where they can win all 4 of those, but I could also see them. You know, I'm not going to say they're going to beat the Rams, but there's a way they could lose 3 of those at least, I guess.
Yeah, no, I mean, crazier things have happened, so it'll be interesting to monitor going forward to make the playoffs for what we're talking about with the Detroit Lions and Green Bay Packers. Detroit is currently sitting at to make the playoffs plus 350. That's a pretty good price, I got to say. And then Green Bay's 12-1. So I think both are pretty good prices here because I think there's a path where that does come down to that Week 18 game with between Detroit and Green Bay
Yeah, for sure.
because I don't see the Giants. I'm a Giants hater, I guess. So, but so take everybody listening, take it with a grain of salt. But I just thought the Giants were trending in the wrong direction. I would not be surprised if they lost out, to be honest. So it kind of opens up that back door for that 7th seed. And Seattle's got a tough schedule, which we'll touch on here in the West preview.
Yeah, the Giants haven't looked like the team that started the season at all. So I agree with you. I don't think they're going to do very well. But
Yeah, no,
The Vikings there, I mean, that was another team that I didn't want to admit it, but I thought they were going to take this division. I thought they were going to win it. So I'll at least tout that call.
could you imagine if the Vikings do end up with like the 2 seed, and let's say the Packers somehow do get in the playoffs as the 7, and the Vikings are like, you got to be shitting me. We got to play the
Right.
Packers in the first round. Oh man, yeah, what a world that would be. But I mean, there's a path. There's a path to the Lions, like you're talking about. I think there's a couple paths where we could see some divisional matchups. I mean, you look at Seattle and San Francisco as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's hard playing a team 3 times in a year.
Hmm.
Especially if you beat them the first 2. If you end up beating them the first 2, it is so hard to beat them that 3rd time.
If you played Rodgers a 3rd time, you'd get him this time.
Yeah. There you go. I'd like to think so.
So I'm gonna take a flyer on the Packers 12-1. I can't resist. Like Rodgers coming off the bye 4 in a row. We'll see what happens.
All right, I'm going to take a flyer on the Giants. No, I'm just kidding.
But I do like the Lions price as well, plus 350. I think the way that they're playing 5 out of 6 win or 5 out of 6, they're playing good football. They're also a good price there.
Yeah, for sure.
So let's move along, and we will go to the most hectic division, the worst division in football, the NFC South. Currently, oh man, Tampa Bay by default sits up top because of their win over New Orleans on Monday Night Football at 6-7. All of a sudden, Carolina's won 3 out of 4. Sam Darnold's playing decent football. They're 5-8. Atlanta's 5-8. They're off the bye. They're making the quarterback change to Ritter. And then the Saints are just in the bottom right now at 4-9. Give me a handicap on this division if you have one.
Yes, this one's a mess. This is one where it's like they should let a different team in because these ones just haven't earned their spot. They don't deserve it. I think it'll come down to the Panthers and the Falcons. I think the Bucks are going to struggle going out. I don't think the Saints are going to win enough to catch up. So I think this is going to be Panthers Falcons. And kind of like you said about the Seahawks, I had Falcons Arthur Smith as my coach of the year, so I got to root for them to get in there and see if that switch to Ritter. If they switch to Ritter and he wins out, then they're definitely they have to talk about Arthur Smith at that point.
Yeah, no, it's going to be interesting because you're looking at Tampa Bay. I don't think they're going to beat Cincinnati. I think we both agree Cincinnati's on a whole different level, so that would put them at 6-8 with 3 to go. And they got to play the Panthers and Falcons again. And they barely beat the Falcons on arguably the worst officials call of the year when they sacked Brady.
That was bad.
And if Atlanta got the ball back, they're going to win. And then in week 7, Carolina beat the shit out of them, 21-3 with PJ Walker. So I know you got Tom Brady, but man, like they're not good. Like there's no other like the only reason people are even like considering them the favorite, and the Bucks are minus 300 for the NFC South. Carolina 4-1, Atlanta 14-1, so still at a really good price. I know Kramer got a ticket at 35-1 in the preseason. And then if you really think chaos is going to happen, take a shot on the Saints at 40-1.
Yeah, that would be chaos.
It's just crazy though, man. Like, because the Saints blew that Monday night game where they're up 13 with 3 minutes left.
Yep.
Where would these odds be sitting at if if they had just held on, and it would be a 4-way tie at what, 5 and 8.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, pure madness. I like Carolina. I like the way I
Yeah.
like the brand of football they're playing. It translates to it's getting cold. They got a tough one with Pittsburgh, but they control their own destiny. They've already beaten Tampa Bay. I know it was in Carolina, but I think they're going to beat them again.
Yeah. It'll be interesting. I think whatever team makes it, I think they're going to sneak in there with a losing record.
Yeah, I think I'm with you. 8 and 9 seems to be the magical number.
Yep.
I could even see 7 and 10 potentially winning the division via a bunch of tiebreakers.
Mm-hmm. Which is just gross. At 7 and 10, you shouldn't be in the playoffs.
It's disgusting.
One shark is on board with me taking Atlanta.
Yeah. No, it's crazy how Atlanta is significantly behind Carolina.
Yeah, no doubt.
Despite both teams being at 5 and 8. I mean, looking at what has Atlanta got coming up? I know that they got the Week 18 battle with Tampa Bay in Atlanta, but if they can get there and be one back, they got Hate Week this week. The problem is they got to go to the Ravens next week too.
Yeah, that'll be tough.
So that's probably why their price is so far down compared to Carolina, who's got Pittsburgh in their favor, Detroit. All of a sudden, that's an interesting game, and then the Saints and Bucks. So I'm on the Panthers. You're on the Falcons just because of the value. So one shark and J Mark are agreeing here on the NFC South. That's what it took for you guys to agree. The NFC South,
right? The grossest division,
no doubt. NFC West now, going over there out west. Obviously, the Niners clear-cut favorites. That loss by Seattle Seahawks on Sunday to Carolina Panthers really was a body blow, I think. Huge blow to their chances. I know that they play tomorrow night. The Seahawks, they met up in week 2, and San Fran put it on them. San Fran's flying in high, winners of 6 in a row now with Brock Purdy under center. Obviously, we both kind of like the Niners here, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I think so. I did see Brock Purdy is questionable with a rib and oblique injury. So if he doesn't play, I don't know how that game goes, but I do still think that their offense is good enough and their defense is damn well good enough to seal this division. I don't think Seattle's going to be able to catch up. Obviously, the other two are not catching up, but
yeah.
Seattle's still almost right around plus 100 to miss or make the playoffs. So that's definitely interesting. Especially if you think they are going to miss it, you get plus money on them missing. So something to keep an eye on.
That is crazy to me that it is plus money, because I do think they're going to miss, because I'm looking at their schedule. San Fran, they're going to be dogging. At Kansas City, they'll be a heavy dog. Then they get the Jets, and I don't know if they're a favorite there. I mean, the Jets, and it's kind of a toss-up game to me.
Yeah.
And then they get the Rams, so like maybe you're favored in 1 out of the last 4. Maybe they get the last 2, but that would only get them to 9 wins. San Fran does clinch the NFC West with a win tomorrow in Seattle too, by the way.
Okay, yeah.
So that's why they are sitting at what, minus 1,900 versus Seattle 11-1. So Seattle's got issues defensively.
Yeah, they do. And now injuries are starting to pile up on the offense too. So never good when you're trying to make your playoff push.
Yeah, no, I agree with you there. It was a good story for a little bit. I was hoping that they could dethrone the Niners, but even with all the Niners injury, the Niners are just a juggernaut right now.
Yeah, I won't tell Rod you were hoping that they were going to dethrone the Niners.
Yeah. Hey, see you in the playoffs, Rod. Make for a good Monday post-game show. So, yeah, we're both on the Niners to get it done tomorrow night. Although, let me ask you this. I know we're doing futures. Seattle, 3.5-point dogs at home in a do-or-die game. You kind of lean to the 12th man to keep it within 3.5.
I think so. I think it's going to be a real close game.
It seems like it always is, especially out in the Great Northwest in the 12th man. So, yeah, we sidetracked a little bit there and we dove into Thursday Night Football. But check out those guys. They'll have that episode for you here soon as well.
It's called a bonus pick. We gave a bonus pick out.
Yes. We both like Seattle plus the 3.5. Take the under 2. It'll be a war.
Yep.
All right, let's go over to the AFC. And finally, it seems like our Buffalo Bills, who we gave out in the preseason, what was it, minus 225 to
Mm-hmm.
win the East, are going to pull away. They basically can clinch it Saturday night, another kind of clinch game where teams up two, they get a win this weekend, and you're up 3 to go against the Miami Dolphins. Obviously, we both agree with the Bills. They're going to get it done, close it out this weekend. But I mean, you're looking at the rest of the division. It's another division like the NFC Beast. You got the AFC Beast here in terms of you got Miami at 8-5, and then you got New England and New York at 7-6. However, for the Jets, the Patriots swept them again, so they hold the tiebreaker coming down the stretch. How do you? What's your take on these three wild card teams with Miami, New England, and New York coming down the stretch here?
I think Miami's got the best chance of making it. But,
Yeah,
they lose to Buffalo, then they are going to have to put in some work,
yeah.
especially if the Patriots can keep winning. But yeah, the Bills, I think, will obviously they're going to clinch this. But we both agreed. If you listen to our pick show that we did literally like I don't know 30 minutes ago, hour ago, we were both on the Bills. We both think they're going to win Saturday night. We both think they're going to clinch this division with that win. But beyond that, I think the Jets are spiraling down. I don't think the Patriots are a good enough team, honestly,
They
to
just
make
stay
it. So
there.
yeah, like they're just right. They're good. They're bad. They're everything. It seems like. I mean, that's a team that lost 34-13 to the Bears. So
Yeah.
they don't deserve to be in the playoffs. So yeah, if one of them has a shot, it's the Dolphins. And they have the talent to do it. Now it's just can they win consistently? Because Tua did not look good last week.
No, and we also said this when we were going through the preview. Like, who the hell did they piss off to get this schedule in
Yeah,
December? At
right.
San Fran, at LA, at Buffalo. I mean, we'll see with the Chargers if they get in, but talent wise, it's a playoff team. Obviously, they have coaching issues, but San Fran and Buffalo are two of the top five teams. How did they draw all three on the road in consecutive weeks?
Yeah, they made somebody mad.
Yeah, no, it's crazy, and you also look at Miami. I mean, they started with a 3-game win streak, then they lost 3, then they won 5. Now they lost 2. Is this going to be another losing streak where they end up like 9-8 at the end of the year, which is I think where we had them in the beginning.
Yeah, I think that sounds about right.
Does the cold weather coming down the stretch worry you?
It does, especially because we've not seen Tua do well in cold
Yeah.
weather yet, I don't think.
So like I'm looking at one game right now. I'm gonna go to week 17. Miami's got to go to New England. Does Miami get that done in New England?
That's rough.
With everything at stake, Belichick versus McDaniel, Tua in the cold. I know Tua owns Belichick, but he's never played Belichick in a playoff like game.
Right. Yeah, that's rough. Especially because the Patriots defense is a decent defense that's going to get pressure on Tua. So, gosh, when you look at it that way, I think the Patriots win that game.
Yeah, and it's crazy. I mean, and it's a revenge angle too. Pulling up the playoff odds for the AFC, we got Miami sitting at. Why is this not in alphabetical order? Everything's got to be difficult on these websites. I'm seeing Miami at what minus 275 to make the playoffs. I'm looking at New England plus 180 and the New York Jets plus 215.
That Patriots one might have a little bit of value.
I kind of like the Patriots, man. And I
Yep.
know I'm kind of doubling down on what I had in the preseason that New England was going to beat Miami for the
Hmm.
last spot. But they just find ways to win there.
Yeah.
It's like Pittsburgh, like it's ugly. Like you watch them on Monday night, but it's awful football to watch. But you look up and hey, they're 7-6 and they're in the 7th seed. And you're like, how the hell did they do it? Oh, it's Belichick doing it once again.
Yep. Absolutely. No, I agree. That's got some value there at plus 180.
No doubt. And but you got no value on the Jets, right? At plus 215.
No, I think they're headed in the wrong direction, and they shouldn't have
They're
made that
young.
quarterback switch. I think it was probably the right move, the wrong time to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I mean they were winning games,
Yeah.
but I think that's just thrown everything a little helter skelter.
And I also think I'm looking at the Jets' schedule. They have the hardest schedule out of those teams, and I know they got the Lions and Jags at home. And I know everybody's like, "Well, it's the fucking Lions and Jags," but the Lions and Jags are in playoff chases too.
Yeah.
Then you got to go to Seattle. Then you got to go to Miami. So it's like 4 playoff-like games for a young team. You mentioned it offensively; they're awful right now.
Yeah.
I think the thing that's going to end up doing the Jets in is that they got swept by the Patriots.
Yep. Agreed.
They had to get one of those games and they'd be sitting pretty, but they did not.
Yep.
All right, let's go to the next division, AFC North. And this is an interesting race because we got 2 teams at the top. Obviously, this is 2-team race. This is simple handicap here. Well, we got Baltimore and Cincinnati both at 9-4. Baltimore won the previous meeting, 19-17, a couple weeks back. You got the Browns and Steelers both at 5-8. Do you think either of those teams could get back in the wild card race? Maybe Tomlin?
Maybe Tomlin, but I think there's just too many good teams in the AFC this year. I don't think they're going to make it.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree with you. If you want to take a flyer on the Pittsburgh Steelers, they are sitting at what is that, 5-1 to make the playoffs, or no, 50-1?
50-1, yeah, 50-1.
Oh yeah, no, I got to get a little bit of that. That's
Just
nice.
Sprinkle a little bit on it.
Yeah, this is Tomlin. He'll pull some shit out of his ass. Like
Yep.
they'll win it. They'll win like 4 straight 10-9 games, and you'll be like, how'd they do it? Pulling up Pittsburgh's schedule, you got them beating Carolina this weekend. Do you think they beat Vegas the following week?
Yeah, Vegas is a mess.
Yeah. So then, I mean, you get in a situation where potentially you go to the Ravens in a revenge angle. They seem to always split, and then you got the Browns. So maybe that 50-1 for you on Tomlin's got some legs to it.
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
Yeah, and they got the defense, but I think the main thing, and you touched on it in our preview just a little bit ago, is the quarterback position, the uncertainty of it.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, I don't even have words for it. So Steelers, Pickett's hurt. So Trubisky might play. Ravens, I just saw Lamar Jackson is out again. Tyler Huntley's questionable. Browns got Watson. This is Bengals division, right? They're going to take this.
Yeah, the only hiccup, I agree with you, like in terms of teams, is like I'm looking at Baltimore's schedule, and outside of Cincinnati, it is a joke. I mean, they play Cleveland, Atlanta, and Pittsburgh. So compared to Cincinnati, because Cincinnati's got a tricky couple spots here. They got to go to Tampa, which we think they'll win, but then they got to go to New England, and then they got Buffalo and Baltimore.
That is a rough schedule.
Yeah,
rough close. Yeah,
like it's a situation where I think we both agree that Cincinnati is way better than Baltimore right now.
Yeah,
but maybe the scheduling gods can have the Ravens. Thankfully, to the scheduling gods, they can hold on in this division, pulling up the odds in the AFC North. Baltimore is still minus 135 and Cincinnati plus 110.
That's interesting. Very interesting.
I think we both take some of that Bengals at plus money. I know that they don't have the schedule, but they're rolling. I mean, they've covered 10 out of 11. They've won 9 out of 11 overall. I mean, they're rolling.
Yep, agreed.
So we're both on the Bengals in the North with the Joe Burrow magic coming back once again.
Smoking Joe.
Let's go to another shit division, the other shit South division, where all of a sudden we got a race now because Jacksonville went into Tennessee and beat them down, and Tennessee has a 2-game lead. Indianapolis, I don't even know how to describe them. I didn't realize the point differential was almost as bad as Houston. So shout out to Jim Irsay and that Jeff Saturday duo. It's not working out.
No.
Anyway, I think two-team race here. Any chance the Jags can catch these Tennessee Titans?
I think so, because I think the Titans are just, 7-6 doesn't look like a great record, but it still seems fraudulent for them. I don't think they've been a team that has looked like a powerhouse, looked like a team that can just run away with it. So yeah, I think the Jags got some legs here, and if you look at to make the playoffs, plus 650. I love that number.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I like that too because I think they can win the division.
Yep.
Because they play week 18 in Jacksonville. So it comes down to the other 3 games. Can Jacksonville go one game better than Tennessee to get to a week 18 where you're one back and all you got to do is have that game in week 18 to win the division? Pulling up Tennessee's schedule, Chargers, Texans, and Cowboys. I mean, I could see them losing 2 out of 3 with their only win. This is a huge game in LA this weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
Monster game for both teams. I mean, LA's got playoff implications, Tennessee as well. Looking at Jacksonville's schedule, I know they have the Jets, they got the Cowboys, they also have the Texans. So similar schedules. It comes down to the Jags just got to go one game better than the Titans over these next 3 and then have a chance to beat them. So, no, I'm with you. Let's get some of that plus 650.
Yeah, that's a nice number.
Do you don't want any of that Colts 45-1?
And I'll pass on that.
No. Yeah. No, I'm with you. And finally, in the AFC West, the division that's disappointed everybody the most. We thought we'd have a division race, and instead we're basically on the eve of Kansas City clinching with a win on Sunday. Kansas City 10-3, they're going to win the division, obviously. But what about the other 3 teams? Well, Denver's out, so shout out to the Denver Broncos sitting at 3-10. LA and Vegas. Do you think the Chargers get in the playoffs?
I think they have a chance at that 7 seed. Looks like the books think they do too, because it's looking like right around minus 150. The most interesting bet here for me is Las Vegas's win total. Over 6.5 is negative 175, but under is plus 145. I kind of like that under with the way they just got beat by Baker, who had been on the team for a day. I kind of like that under. I don't know if they win 2 more games.
Well, they better win the next 2 because they have New England and at Pittsburgh. And then after that, they got San Francisco and Kansas City.
Yeah, so even looking at that, I love that under.
Yeah, take the under there. And so they're not going to make the playoffs unless a miracle. Looking at the LA Chargers, you mentioned it, minus 150. Big reason why. Last 4 games, Tennessee, at Indy. You get the Rams at home, and then you got Denver. I mean, that's even the Chargers, I don't think, can mess this one up.
Right. You would hope not.
It would be bad. Staley's gone. If they don't make the playoffs, Staley's gone. I mean, Staley might be gone even if they make the playoffs and they're out in the wild card round because that team just seems to constantly underachieve.
And they got too much talent to be sitting at 7-6.
Yeah, this is a 9-4 team or 10-3 team. I'm with you. Do you have any fear of the Chargers? I'll transition into our next segment. The AFC championship odds. Do you have any fear of the San Diego or LA Chargers? Sorry. I forgot that they moved for a second there. Do you have any fear of them in the playoffs? I mean, are they just too soft defensively to make any noise?
Yeah. I don't think they have enough put together, especially with the coaching. If they had a different coach, I might feel different on it because I like their offense. I like some of their defensive pieces. Getting Khalil Mack was smart, but I think Mack is at a time in his career where you see him run high motor probably half the game, and if you want to make a deep playoff push, I think you need guys that are running high motor pretty much the full game. So, they don't scare me that much. I like the Bengals as hot as they've been playing. I like them to try to push into the Super Bowl again.
I'm seeing them at a book at 6-1. I like that number as well. Do you have any long shots that can make some noise? I mean, the Chargers were 22-1, but we kind of agree that we don't like the coaching. I'll give out one. I'll give out the Jags and a crazy where they catch lightning in a bottle, and I'm seeing them at 125-1. I mean, they got the young quarterback, and Doug Peterson's been there, done that. So maybe you want to take a slight stab at a Jaguars team for a hefty price there to win the AFC. But I mean
that's worth a couple dollars at least, right?
Yeah, $1 or $2. Yeah, why not?
You don't have to put a lot on it.
No doubt. But I think we both agree that it's probably going to be Buffalo or Kansas City. Buffalo plus 175, Kansas City plus 240. And then you got your Cincinnati Bengals at 6-1. So if you think the Bengals are in that tier one with those teams, which I think we both do, I mean, that's a great price.
Yep, I agree.
And then the Ravens 11-1, Dolphins 12-1, Tennessee 25-1. I don't get that at all. I mean, they were the one seed and still couldn't win a playoff game last year. Then you get the Jets at 55-1, New England 66-1, and then basically everybody else is out.
Yeah.
So we both like kind of as a best bet Cincinnati Bengals to get back to the Super Bowl 6-1 from a value standpoint. Do you still favor the Bills over the Chiefs?
Yeah, I think I do.
I do too.
Just the way they played them earlier this year. I know it's going to be tough to beat them twice, but I liked how they played them, and I think they are the better team.
Agreed. Yeah. No, I mean, Kansas City's not clicking right now. They haven't clicked in about 3-4 weeks. Maybe they're just bored, like we said earlier in our other show, and they're going to turn it on. But right now, I can't get behind them over Buffalo in Buffalo where the game would be played.
Agreed.
And let's go over the NFC real quick to look at those odds. Obviously, Philadelphia has kind of separated themselves and pulling it up. They're plus 165, so they're getting close to even money. Then you got Dallas and San Francisco kind of in that next tier, plus 360. You got the fraudulent Minnesota Vikings at 11-1. Tampa Bay somehow is still 13-1. I don't understand that.
I don't either.
The Seattle 35-1, and then this is just disrespectful. Washington 40-1. They should be like 4-1. Just kidding. I kind of like this tier with Washington and Detroit 40-1, 50-1.
Yeah, I think it's worth a little bit, anyways, and
yeah,
especially because these are teams that are playing hot, and once you get to the playoffs, it's really anybody's game. This is the NFL. You got a bunch of professionals, and once you get into the playoffs, your records are back to 0-0, and so anybody can win any game. We've seen it happen. So yeah, I like that too.
Yeah, no, I'm with you here because I think we both agree that the NFC is more open. And all right, I'll do a non-biased take on Washington. They've gone to Philly and won. They've gone toe-to-toe with Minnesota, played them right down to the wire, who's the 2 seed. Dallas, I throw that one out because Carson Wentz was quarterback. Different team. They're going to play San Francisco here in a minute, so we'll see what happens. So, I mean, you've already played the best team, and that's who you got to beat, Philadelphia and Dallas. So,
I beat the Bears. I mean, that's saying something too.
Oh well, that was the game that started the streak. I mean, we're 1-4 going to Chicago. Got to get right. So
you're welcome.
yeah, thank you. Yeah, you sparked our Super Bowl run.
Yep, we hurt Wentz and spark your Super Bowl run. You're welcome.
Yeah, Wentz was throwing his body around like a fullback that night on some of those blocks. Yeah, I'm gonna send you a whiskey bottle when I cash this 40-1 NFC Championship.
There you go.
If I had to go another long shot, like you said, the Lions. I kind of playing good football, running the ball. Dan Campbell's got them believing.
Yep, absolutely. One bet I kind of like. This is taking both NFC and AFC. You can do the to make the Super Bowl. The finalists, Bills versus Eagles is plus 600. I like that a lot because I like both those teams.
It's a good chalk play. I mean, it's for it to be 6-1. I am seeing a certain team at 150-1 to win the NFC.
Oh, which one?
They're green and yellow.
Not gonna happen. Not gonna. They couldn't win the NFC Championship when they
were the 1 seed.
Yeah, when they were the good team.
Well, hey, maybe you turned around their season last week. Everybody's got to get the Bears to spark their team a little bit.
At least we're good for something.
Yeah, I'll kind of like the Jaguars logic. I'll throw $1 on the Packers to win the NFC. Maybe this is some crazy shit. But I do like your play of kind of the chalk play. Bills, Eagles, both 1 seed, 6-1. Because I mean, also when we get to, and we'll preview all these NFL playoff games when we get there, is those are 2 hostile environments. Those aren't bullshit home fields where it's going to be 50-50 split. And everybody knows Philly. I mean, that place is nuts. Just has Sean. And Buffalo. I mean, those people are starving for a Super Bowl. So
Yeah.
I agree with you there. It's going to be tough to beat those two teams.
Yep, agreed. And I was just talking to a Cowboys fan who said they will never go to Philly Stadium ever again to watch a game because it was so hostile. So
it's
right
wild
on
up
with
there.
you.
Yeah, no,
Yep.
I've been once. I got no interest in hanging out with those Eagles fans.
Yeah.
I'll hang out with Sean. That's about it.
There you go.
Super Bowl. You already gave out a kind of a parlay, NFC, AFC. Value wise, who you like to win the Super Bowl the best?
I still really like the Bills. Beginning of the season, I thought they were the best team. I still think they're the best team.
I don't disagree. I mean, plus 380. I mean, still got easily plus money value there. Love that angle. Any long shots potentially? Kind of looking through this. I mean, you got Cincinnati at 10-1.
Yeah, I do like Cincinnati, and I think the way they've been able to navigate not having Joe Mixon for some games, not having Jamar Chase, and still winning games. And now they're going to be tested again because I think they're going to be without Boyd and Higgins. So wide receivers are struggling with injuries there, and they just keep winning games. So that is at 10-1. That's nice. I like that.
Yeah, I think that's a good medium one for a long shot. Give us a good juicy one. Give us a crazy one.
Well, if things go how you like it with those Jags, that's pretty juicy.
200-1, baby.
Yeah. That's hard to beat. I'm just looking here. I don't think the Giants will get in.
They're not playing well enough.
Yeah. Does Seattle have what it takes to maybe sneak in? That's 80-1.
Yeah.
Pete Carroll, he's a good coach.
Oh yeah.
He is a good coach. And he's an experienced coach, and that if their defense can kind of get a little bit better, can make a couple more plays, I think their offense is there. A lot of that will depend on if Kenneth Walker can come back. I think they're a different team when he's healthy. But I think he's only a game or two out of playing. So Ravens 20-1. I know we've said that they've seemed fraudulent, but if Lamar can come back and they can get in the playoffs, that's a team
right.
That's a team that could. I mean, they did just beat the Steelers with their third string, so that's a team that I could see them doing it.
Yeah. What about San Fran at 9-1?
I was just looking at that too. I mean, with
little
Christian McCaffrey
Brock
there,
Purdy magic, yeah.
Yeah.
Can't give out the Cowgirls 9-1.
No.
It's disgusting. We'll be
exactly right. Promo code Dallas sucks.
Yeah.
No, Brock Purdy, he was a winner at Iowa State. I watched him a lot when he played for Iowa State, so he can obviously. I think he could get it done, and he doesn't have to do that much with that offensive scheme and that defense. He doesn't have to do much.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I kind of like that 9-1 as my middle play there. I'm with you on Buffalo. I still am riding the Buffalo. This is their year. They're going to get it done. My long shot, I'm going Washington 90-1. Let's go.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. Like, if you're going to take a long shot, take one of the teams that are playing good football right now. The Washingtons, the Detroits, Jacksonville, maybe even Carolina somehow. I mean, it'll be somebody that comes out of nowhere that will be in the AFC or NFC Championship. So you'll have a great chance to cash out if you want to take that angle. It's rare. Sure. It's rare that it's 1-2 and then 1-2 in both conferences.
Agreed.
So, yeah.
I'm looking trying to pull something up here for to make the title game. Cincinnati and 49ers. I want to know what that
parlay
is. 30-1 for Bengals and Niners to hit.
So basically you're replicating what you did last year in terms of Cincinnati and San Fran were the two teams that came on, San Francisco being the 6th seed and Cincinnati being the 4th seed. I mean, both those teams is exactly what we're talking about in terms of they caught lightning in a bottle these last 3-4 games and then rode it right into the playoffs. And then, I mean, Cincinnati got to the Super Bowl. San Fran should have got to the Super Bowl.
Agreed.
So
So
I
yeah,
do
that
like.
one's kind of interesting.
What was the price on that?
30-1.
I like that. I'm
Yeah.
gonna put a little bit in on that. I like that. I can't have Washington in every long shot bet, so I gotta have some. I gotta have some diversity in my portfolio, as they say.
There you go. There you go.
Individual awards, MVP. I'll let you tout right now. I mean, you gave
Yeah.
out Jalen Hurts. What was he in the preseason? Was it 40-1?
I don't remember off the top of my head, but it was a long shot.
It might have been
And
45-1.
yeah, yep. And here he is leading the MVP race right now. It looks like it's going to come down to him, Mahomes, Burrow, and Josh Allen. So, and the Eagles with their schedule, they have a good chance of winning 3 out of 4 at least, if not all 4. And if they do that, he wins it, I think.
Yeah, I agree with that. I actually think the guy that could dethrone him would be Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
Because Joe Burrow's got the momentum, and with it being such a narrative-based award as well, Joe Burrow does have some spotlight games. Like he plays Brady in that late afternoon game. He plays Buffalo week 17 in I think that's is that a Monday night game?
I don't remember. It might
I think
be.
it's a Monday night game.
Yeah.
And then he finishes with Baltimore at home. If they run the table and they somehow dethrone the Bills for the 1 seed, I could see Joe Burrow taking it. So I'll get some of Burrow 10-1.
Yeah, I like it.
I don't see Mahomes though. He's kind of, I don't know. He doesn't look like he really cares about the regular season.
No, I agree. Yeah, like we've said, they look bored. They're going through the motions. I don't know what it is because we've seen Mahomes be elite and make these electric performances in the past, and there's not been many of them this year.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I'm not as high on as Kansas City as some people have been. I know they can turn it on in no time, but oh my God, that consensus thing just popped up. You want to know who the long shot that they gave out was?
Who?
Matt Ryan, 60-1.
Oh boy.
It's crazy because Lamar was a sexy pick in the preseason, 22-1. That actually wasn't a bad angle. He just got hurt, which unfortunately seems to be the new thing with Lamar back-to-back years.
Yeah.
We both gave out, I know, Josh Allen, plus 650. I don't think he's gonna win it. I think your long shot at Jalen Hurts has a real shot at winning it.
Yeah, I agree.
Do you see anywhere for Coach of the Year odds?
I don't. I'm looking at awards here
now. While you're looking it up, I'm looking up as well. We gave out 2 long shots in the preseason. I gave out Pete Carroll with the Seahawks, painted a picture of how maybe Seattle found a way to be a playoff contender, which they are. And that has a chance. That was 80-1. And then you gave out Arthur Smith with the Atlanta Falcons, painted the picture that they dethrone the overrated Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And I think we both gave out Kevin O'Connell in Minnesota as well.
Yeah. Yep.
And I know we both said if Detroit makes the playoffs, Dan Campbell is going to win Coach of the Year because everybody wants him to be Coach of the Year because of Hard Knocks.
Yeah, but then I think I said, but they're not gonna.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, you can take half credit on that one because,
right.
Yeah. We were not on Nathaniel Hackett. I could tell you that. We were not on Brandon Staley. Thinking of other guys that we potentially, I remember both giving out Kevin O'Connell. I remember both saying Dan Campbell, and yeah. So it's Sirianni's got a chance, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
they
win every game.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think that they had some high expectations, but I think they've even exceeded those.
Yeah, agreed. Like everybody was high on Philly coming into the year. Oh, here we go. Updated odds. Nick Sirianni is minus 175. So clear cut favorite. Kevin O'Connell plus 350. Robert Saleh, that's a good one. 12-1. He's done a good job. Mike McCarthy's 20-1. I don't think anybody was giving that out.
No.
There's Pete Carroll, 28-1. they don't have Arthur Smith because the Falcons have dropped off. But if they were to make the NFC playoffs and dethrone the Tampa Bay Bucks, I think he's in the mix.
Yeah. Yep. That Pete Carroll one. I mean, just think if somebody had followed your play, they could probably cash that out for decent money right now.
Yeah, should have cashed it out a couple weeks ago because it doesn't seem like they're going to be able to hold on. A couple other guys have done great jobs this year. Brian Daboll in New York, he's 22-1. Mike McDaniel in Miami. Not Josh McDaniels. He has not done a good job. Vrabel, 100-1. Belichick, 150-1. Andy Reid, 80-1. Sean McDermott, 66-1. On and on. Everybody's.
I haven't heard you say Matt Eberflus yet. Where's he?
No, he didn't make the cut. My man, Ron Rivera didn't make the top half, which is a little surprising.
That is surprising.
Yeah, going 1-4, but hey, keep disrespecting us, you know.
There you go.
So we will be back next week to preview Week 16. Just wanted to give out since we're entering the last quarter of the NFL season, a little bit of futures odds. I know we did so at the midseason. We gave out some as well, and then we also had multiple divisions that we previewed in the preseason. So just want to thank everybody's support so far this NFL season. We're past 100 episodes, and like you said, keep liking and subscribing and leaving a rating so that you're eligible for that $100 free giveaway for the holiday season.
Absolutely. Another one that I can't remember if we did it during the midseason or preseason, but I know we talked about Defensive Rookie of the Year, Sauce Gardner. He's now a heavy favorite. And I know when we gave him out, it was right around plus 100 or maybe even more than that. So that was another one that we both were on that looks like it's going to hit as well.
Yeah, he's been on. What he does is Stephon Diggs and other number one receivers. He's got a hell of a career in front of him.
Yep.
Speaking of which, I wanted to pull up comeback player of the year.
Geno Smith, heavy favorite.
Really? We didn't give him out, did we?
I don't believe so, but now it's at minus 600.
We were on McCaffrey and Barkley.
Yep. And McCaffrey's plus 750 right now. He's next. So, that's kind of crazy that Geno's got that much of a favorite right now.
Can Russell Wilson win that award next year?
There you go.
If he has average stats.
Right, yeah.
Since all they have to do is score 18 points. I mean, all he's got to do is be average, and they'll go 10-3.
Exactly.
Crazy how things twist in the NFL. You got any last things before we get up on out of here?
No, that's all I had. I'll be looking forward to next year's awards when the Bears have a better chance.
Oh yeah. Keep an eye out. Washington, Chicago, NFC Championship odds. We'll give that out as a parlay, and we'll build you a mansion.
That's right.
All right, everybody. You can follow our Twitters. Those watching on YouTube at Moneyline_Mac. He is at JMarkFootball. We're here every Wednesday. This was a bonus episode with an updated awards market, but we'll be back next Wednesday for week number 16. Good luck finishing up week number 15, and don't forget to let it ride.